This is the Keystone Prep Pre-Algebra Part 1. Why do I call it Pre-Algebra? Well, because it's stuff that you kind of have learned before, like mean, median, mode, range, properties. It was kind of like all that stuff like at the beginning in 8th grade. Yes, we go over some of this stuff later, but it's not like something that we're supposed to get to in algebra. So it's like pre-algebra stuff because it's stuff you're supposed to have learned before and then I add upon it. So let's look at these. Now, there were 12 questions, right? Did you guys get to the question where it was a picture of me? Yeah, did you guys laugh? This is my friend's dad. He actually works at Wegmans. It's hilarious. I think he hates me. But that's his problem, not mine. He works at the 1 in Concord. You know, got off like 202. So if you see him, say hi. And he does work in the produce section, which makes it even funny. All right, so here it says, one of the steps Dave used to solve an equation is shown below. So we have 3x plus 9 equals 21, and then it says 3x plus 9 minus 9 equals 21 minus 9. So I'm looking at these two steps, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on. What is different between the top and the bottom step? And I noticed they both have these minus 9s. All right, so I'm going to go through these answers, and I'm going to see which one makes the most sense. Okay, I'm just noticing that there's just minus 9s. That's the only thing that's different between the top step and the bottom step. So did Dave rearrange the terms? The answer is no. If I'm looking at this, the 3x is still lined up. The 9s are lined up. And even like, so to say, like the 21s are sort of lined up, right? I didn't move anything. So it's not going to be A, or the first one here. It's not going to be the one with the rearranging. Okay. There we go. So it's not this one. Now it says Dave subtracted 9 from both sides. Honestly, Sophie, I'm kind of thinking it's that one, right? Because I did subtract 9 from both sides. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the other ones. I don't want to be so quick. All right, it says Dave rearranged the terms. We've already determined that he didn't rearrange the terms. And then it says Dave subtracted 9 from both sides. This procedure is justified by the additive inverse. Ooh. So Liam, do you see by reading, I didn't just pick the first one? Because like I jumbled up all of your answers. So like your answers are in a different order than Destiny's, which is in a different order than Angela's. So you have to read all of the answers, okay? So here, let's finish up and read this one. Dave subtracted 9 from both sides. This procedure is justified by additive property of equality. Am I adding anything here? No. But what does inverse mean? Additive inverse. Well, that means how do I get back to 0? So like 9, the additive inverse of 9 is negative 9. Do you see that? So that's actually going to be this one. So everybody look and find the answer that's talking about the additive inverse. Now, Hope, this is where you have to pay attention because it's not the last one for everybody. It's going to be different spots, right? Was yours the last one, Sophie?
No.
Okay. Do you see what I mean? So you have to pay attention. And I did that intentionally. So like you guys all can be like, oh, what's the answer to this one? Oh, it's that. All right. I jumbled it up so you have to read your answers. All right. So let's go on to the next one. Now this one says a photographer charges X per hour and Y per photograph. So we're talking about money here because he's talking about charges so much money per hour and so much money per photograph. James purchased 4 hours of photography and 35 prints. Josie purchased 6 hours of photography and 45 prints. James spent $255 and Josie spent $345. The equations below represent the situation. Now, here's the thing. I didn't teach you how to do this. I didn't teach you this, AJ, right? I didn't teach you, right? But you do know enough to answer this whole question, okay? So when I'm looking at this, where we're going next, like later on, is how do we solve that? How do I get this answer of 25? But in this problem, it doesn't ask you what is your answer. It just asks you, what does 20 comma 5 represent, right? So let me ask you this, okay? Emma,
Yeah.
a point, right? You've seen a coordinate point before, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What coordinate comes first? Because we know there's two parts to it, an x and a y. Which one comes first, x or y?
X.
X. It's alphabetical. Very good. So this point is x, comma, y, right? So that's all I need to know to actually answer this question. Now, Drew, x represented what? The amount for what? What does x represent? Per hour. This is per hour. And y represents per photograph. So if I just write that in, $20 per hour, $5 per photo. Which one is my answer? Do you see how I did that, Liam? Makes sense, right? Not that hard. $20 per hour. Well, this was 20 and 20. I would eliminate that right out the gate. And I would eliminate the one right out the gate that says 5 and 5 because we're not using both of the numbers. So the first one says, for me up here out of B and D, it says $20 per hour and $5 per print. So I'm selecting that one because the last one had it reversed. So everybody find the one that says $20 per hour and $5 per print. Do you see how we went about that? Pretty easy, right? Jordan, you doing okay there, birthday girl?
Yeah, I'm going.
Good.
Going.
All right, number 3. Now this is where that like pre-algebra stuff really starts to kick in, that mean, median, mode. This thing is called a stem and leaf plot. It's really annoying, okay? Really annoying. I'm not a big fan of them. Sometimes you can like get data from it real quick and other times you're just really confused. So the stem and leaf just means these numbers over here on the left, the 0, 1, 2, and 3, they're like the first part of your number. And these are your leaves, meaning the second part of your number. So if I was going to write out like these numbers, okay, they would be 0, 2, 0, 8, 0, 9. See that? So these are just like 2, 2, 8, 9. But these, you're really going to see it in that second row. That's going to be 14, 14, 15, 17, and 19. Do you guys see where I got them from? See that? That's the basis of a stem and leaf plot. Now it says, what is the mean? What is the mean? Anybody know? It's a fancy way of saying, starts with an A, yeah, average. So what I need to do is probably will be beneficial to me to just write out all these numbers. So 24, 27, 32, 34, 35, and 39. Now, how do I find the average? You do what? Dusty, do you know how to find the average? Yeah, you add them all up and then divide by like the number you have. Right? This is why you need a calculator. So everybody go ahead on your calculator. Okay. And let me clear out this algebra 2 stuff in here. All right, so everybody just add up 2 plus 8 plus 9 plus 14 plus 14 plus 15 plus 17 plus 19. And yeah, I'm going to keep reading these out loud because I like hearing myself talk. Plus 24 plus 27 plus 32 plus 34 plus 35 plus 39. Did everybody get 289? All right, now we have to figure out how many numbers do we have. So I count them up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, right? We in agreement? We have 14 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I do 289 divided by 14. And I get 20.6, which is going to be about 21. All right, moving on. Question number 4. Ha, box and whisker. Hate these things. They're the worst, right? Like, we never use these in life. You're right, you don't. All right, I'll be the first one to tell you you don't use them, except when you're on the Keystones. It'll be there, guaranteed, 100%, guaranteed. Here's the thing you need to know about box and whisker, okay? It's all about like kind of grouping your data together. Here's the thing, there are 4 sections to this. This whisker, this part of the box, this part of the box, and this whisker. Now, why did I write 25%? Well, there's like 4 sections, right? And each of these sections contains 25% of the data, meaning 25% of the data is here, 25 is here, 25 is here, and 25 is there. Okay? Now, once I know that, I can kind of read these. Approximately 25% of the students took less than 14 minutes. Well, here's 14 minutes, right? Less than 14 would mean 25 and 25. That's 50%. Do we see that? 50%. So it's not that one. Approximately 50% of the students took more than 11 minutes. So let's look at that. So 11 minutes is right here. It says more than. So 25, 25, and 25, that's 75%. So that one's incorrect. Now it says approximately 50% of the students took more than 19 minutes. There's 19. More than 19 would be over here. Nope, it's 25%. So for me, it's approximately 25% of the students took more than 11 minutes. Which one was it? Approximately 25% of the students took more than 11 minutes to complete the quiz. Which one? I forgot. My bad. Let's start that one over. Did you let Chris in? Okay, my bad. Took more than 11. Sorry, this one. Took more than 11, but less than 19. So it was actually this one. I didn't keep reading. See how I told you that? This one. My bad, Sophie. I made a boo-boo. Sometimes you don't read. I don't read. I like pictures. Picture books are much better. Coloring, not so much. Not a big fan of fun. All right. So you got to read the whole thing. Okay. This one, because 50% fall between 11 and 19. So that one's out. But do you see what I did when I went through and I read all the answers? Even the last one, I didn't just like circle it because it was the last one. I continue to read it just in case I made a mistake. And notice I did. All right, let's go to number 5. Here, this one, interpreting a graph. It says between which weeks did the production decrease by 50? Okay, so if I look at week 0, and week 3, how much did I go down? So I'm asking from here to here, how much did I go down? I only went down 25, right? So it's not that one. In this one, 3 to 6. Well, 3 to 6, I don't even have to do that one. Why? Did I decrease? No, I increased. 1 to 3, week 1, week 3. How much did I go down? Oh, it looks like 50, 1 to 3. All good? All good? All right. The camera manufacturer finds out that 3 out of every 160 cameras they produce are defective. If the plant makes 4,800 cameras in 1 week, how many defective cameras should they expect? Now, why do I include this? This is actually like a real life thing. Okay, do you know why it's a real life thing? You ready to be grossed out? You ready? So like food, right? They say it's like okay to have like in peanut butter. It's like 1.5 spiders is okay to be in peanut butter. Otherwise, it's like defective. It's weird, right? So that's what they do. They have like these defective things. Okay. They say that's okay. It's okay that like 5 out of every 1,000 are bad. Or like, you know, like let's say 6 avocados out of like 20,000 are, you know, already like, I guess, soft and like breaking down. Right? That's what they say. That's what they determine is acceptable. So up here, 3 out of 160. So we do 3 out of 160 equals x out of 4,800. We know how to do this, right? All right, so everybody cross multiply. Equals 160x. 0, 0, 4, 15. Hey, I got 90. All right, moving on to number 7. I like these problems. They make me think, okay? And it's actually used a lot at like casinos, blackjack, okay? Probability, like you'll see it all the time to like win money and whatnot. So bag contains 28 blue marbles and 12 red marbles. First thing I do, how many marbles do I have in total? Angela, how many marbles do I have in total? If I have 12 blue, or 28 blue and 12 red, how many total? 40. That's all I wanted to know. So I have total equals 40. And I just make a note of that. If Milton removes 2 marbles without replacing them, what is the probability that the first marble will be blue? So in a bag, I have 40 marbles. How many are blue? Hope, how many are blue? 28. So I reach in, pull out a marble, and it's 28 out of 40 is my possibility, right? But now I got a blue marble, right? Blue marble's in my hand, okay? Now, how many marbles are left in the bag? Not 12. I took out 1 blue marble. With, not 13. Think about it this way. How many are in the bag? 40. I reach in, take 1 out. How many? How many? 39. There are 39 marbles left in the bag, right? How many are red in there? So remember, I reached in, pulled out a blue marble. How many are red in the bag? What? 12. That's how you do it. So first off, I figured out how many marbles were in there, right? That was 40. 28 of those 40 were blue. So you need 28 over 40 times. All right, now I took it out. I didn't put it back in. I took it out. So now there's only 39 left in that bag. And out of those 39, because I took out a blue marble, 12 of them are still red. Now, if it asked me, what was the probability of reaching in and pulling out another blue? Well, there was 28 blue out of 40. And then there's 39 marbles left. And since I took out a blue marble, there'd only be 27 blue marbles left if it asked me that. Now here, what do I get? Let me figure this out. Don't tell me. It's going to be 4. It's going to be 13. This is going to be 1. And that's going to be 10. This will be 14. And this will be 5. So 14 over 65.
Even though we forgot 2 more.
Yeah, that's how it works. 14 out of 65. Because it's probability, so you multiply them. So the probability of pulling out the blue one was like more than half. And then 12 out of 39, it's like, you know, I would say like close to 1/3. So 1/2, 1/3 should be somewhere around 1/6, which is right around that. It's a little bit more. So, all right, next problem. Ooh, this problem. Pick this one because I like fishing. Love it. Okay. In a lake, it was stocked with 30 trout, 40 bass, 10 walleye, 20 catfish. Pretty good eating fish, to be honest. How many fish are in that lake, Drew?
100.
What is the probability that a fisherman catches 1 trout? All right, so we know there's 100 fish. How many are trout?
30.
30. And it says, throws it back. So if I catch that fish, take it, throw it back. Hopefully it lives. Trout are finicky fish. Most of the time they die. But it lived. How many fish are now back in the lake? So remember, I caught one and then threw it back. 100. Very good. And then I catch catfish. How many are catfish? 30 out of 100, well, that's 3 out of 10. 20 out of 100, that's 2 out of 10. So that's 1/5. So what is that? 3 over 50. But now, 3 over 50, it's not one of my answers, is it? They're in percentages, right? If you got a 3 out of 50 on a test, how'd you do? Probably not so good, right? Pretty bad, right? What was your percentage, Sophie? 6%. That's why they call it fishing, not catching. When I go fishing, it's called catching. Catch a lot of fish. All right, number 9. Oh, these are fun. The median score on an algebra exam is 58. The interquartile range of the score on the test is 22, which is most likely to be true. Wow. Anybody know what interquartile range means? Guarantee it's box and whisker. All right, everybody draw. Box and whisker. So it says the median score, that goes in the middle, that's 58. It says interquartile range. That's this. That's 22. So if the whole box is 22, what's half the box? Like what would this be, much be of the 22? 11. So 58 minus 11 is 47. 58 plus 11 is 69. So, which is the most likely to be true? All right, so 25% is here, 25% is here, 25 is here, and 25 is here. So this is approximately 50% of the scores were greater than 47. Oh, that's no, because it's just 75% of the scores. Approximately 75% of the scores were less than 69. So 69 is right here. Less than would be all of this. 25, 20, 25, that's 75. So I think it's that. Let me check. Approximately 25% of the scores were greater than 70. Nope. Can't make that assumption. 70 is not even on here. It says approximately 25% of the scores were less than 58. No, it's the median. It means it's 50% is less. So there we go. 10. Ooh, look at the graph. The bar graph below represents the number of widgets. Anybody know what a widget is? I didn't know what it was. Just means anything you want it to be. Got that, Nate? So kind of like, let's think about widget as like a watch. So it says if each widget costs $125 to make, and the company sells each one for $625, how much more profit did the company earn during the fourth quarter than the first quarter? Nate,
Yeah.
do you know what profit is?
Yeah, like how much money you make.
Okay. So if it costs me $125 to make something and I sell it for $625, how much do I make per widget?
$500.
Very good. How'd you get 500?
I just subtracted 125 from 625.
Very good. We do 625 minus 125, and that gives me 500. And this is my amount of profit. Now, it wants to know how much more did I make during the fourth quarter than the first quarter. So in order to figure that out, I need to find out how many I made in the first quarter. That's 20. So I'm going to do 20 times 500. And that's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 10, $10,000. Fourth quarter, that's 60. So I'm going to do 60 times 500. 1, 2, 3, 30,000. How much more? Well, that's going to be 30,000 minus 20,000, or not 20,000, minus what, 10,000? My answer is 20,000. Why can't I write to that? That's right. It's like a Monday for me.
Wait, 20,000.
Yep.
That one you just did, I saw 30,000 on it and I got the correct answer.
You selected 30?
Yeah.
No, it's because the answer was wrong in the system. I got to go back and change it. I put in wrong answers, so I have to review every one of yours by hand.
So it's actually 20,000.
It's actually 20,000. Because it asked how much more. All right, the number of hits by a baseball team during each of the 9 innings of the game are shown below. Which of the following statements is not true? Now it says interquartile range, range, median, and mode. So here's how I would do this one. Ready, Sophie?
Yeah.
I wouldn't start out by trying to tackle the interquartile range. I would start out by tackling these 3. Here's the reason why. Range is easy to find. Median and mode are all easy to find. Okay? The only thing I need to do in order to figure these out is order them from least to greatest. So the smallest number is 0. You cross that off. Then the next is 2, 3,
Wait, which one is this for?
3. This one is for like the bottom 3, range, median, and mode. Because I need to do this the same thing kind of for all 3 of those. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to rule out each one of these so that I can show that it's this one. Or I'm going to get one of these and I know it's not that one. So you see how I'm ordering it from least to greatest? 4, 5, 7, 8, 8. I haven't even started the problem. I just organized my data. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Range. The range is equal to the smallest, or the largest minus the smallest. So the smallest is 0 and the largest is 8. So I do 8 minus 0. See how I got 8? Can you see that? Sophie?
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
So it says, which of the statements is not true? Well, this one was true, right? So that means it's not going to be this one. Because they asked me which ones are not true. Mode. Anybody know what mode means? Mode is the number that occurs the most. Mode, most. So which number occurred the most? True.
8,
What ones?
3 and 8.
3 and 8. So the mode of the data is 3 and 8. So it's not that one. The median is greater than the mean. Well, the median is the middle number. Like in a row, it's the middle. So the median is 4. Now what's the mean? The mean is I have to add them all up. So 0 plus 2 is 2, plus 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 5 is 17, plus 7 is 24, plus 8 is 32, plus 8 is 40. So I have 40 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 40 over 9, which is 4.6. No, 4.4. Repeating. Anybody doing this?
Yeah, it is
4.4 repeating. So it says the median is greater than the mean. Is the median greater than the mean? No. So that's my answer, because that one's not true. All right, last but not least. You guys like this one. It was funny. All right, Wegmans takes a lot of pride in the appearance of their produce section and stacks their fruit in a pyramid as shown below. Okay, that's my friend's dad. So how many oranges would be in the 10th row? Here's the thing. How many oranges are in the first row? 1. How many are in the second? Here. 4. All right, because there's 3 that you can see, and there has to be 1 on the back. So 1, 4. What about in this row? 9. Everybody see a pattern? What about this row? 16. Well, look at this. Here's the pattern. Ready? How many are here? 4. How many are here? 4. What's 4 times 4? 3, right? 3. 3 times 3? 9. So how many oranges would be in the 10th row? 100. How many total oranges are there in the first 10 rows? So I'm asking you, it's 4 plus 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25 plus 36 plus 49 plus 64 plus 81 plus 100. And I actually don't know that off the top of my head.
380.
385. All right, submit it, and then I'll go back through and do it. All right, don't worry if something went weird, because I have to go through and check it by hand.